welcome back to another Makeup Artist Monday. It's artistry like bam. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in this week. So the artist in me has been really inspired by a lot of the bridal looks that I've been creating lately. And one of the bridal lipsticks that I get asked about all the time is the Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. So if you're not familiar, I have it right here. So I went out and purchased this because a lot of brides were requesting this specific lip color over and over and over. And I was like, alright, well, I guess I need to get it for my kit. So I went and picked it up at Nordstrom, and it is a really beautiful color. I think that it is super flattering on a lot of different skin tones, but the funny thing is I don't think it's that unique to what most people already might have at home or in their collection already. So today I'm going to swatch it on my hand and I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to use what I have in my professional kit to kind of recreate a couple different shades of this lipstick with what's already in my kit, so that I can show you that maybe if you want to try this at home, you can use a couple of things that you have, maybe to mix and kind of create a dupe for yourself so that you can try it on at home and see if it looks flattering on you before you run out and buy a $30 lipstick, or just so that you can see if you want to maybe try to recreate something a little bit cheaper, or if you want to just see what it looks like. So that's what we're going to do today. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. So here's the infamous Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick in the original formula. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the cap off. This is the brand new lipstick. It does have a really beautiful, unique shape to it, which I like because it really hugs the lip. It's got that square tip. So I'm gonna swatch this on the back of my hand, so you guys can see it's not a super full coverage lipstick right away. It does take a little bit of time to kind of build up that coverage, which is nice. It's more of a like pinky dusty rose, and it's a little bit brighter than like my natural lip color, just a little bit. So I think this is a really pretty lipstick. It's very much like your lips but better. So we're gonna try to see if we can get really close to this with what I have in my professional kit. All right, so here's the lipstick with a full swatch on my hand. I went ahead and just kind of cleaned it up just a little bit to get a fuller swatch so you could see the real true color. I do have on studio lights on this side and daylight on this side, so you can kind of get the best of both worlds, which this is more of a real true to daylight outside color, which I think is really beautiful. So we're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna mix a couple things on my metal mixing palette that I have right here. I have a spatula, so I'm going to take out a couple products and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing, and then we're going to mix up a couple of things. So I'm gonna first start on the more drugstore side of things. Milani has these really beautiful liquid lipsticks, and I have these in my kit in the colors number 10 and 11. Precious, no, this is Adorable and this is Precious. So you can see that these are very similar to a brown undertone dusty rose, which is what we're trying to aim for here. So I'm gonna see if we can mix these two together and get something similar to this. With doing this, you're gonna definitely wanna mix a lot more of the pink than a lot more of the brown, because the brown can overtake this and make it look a little bit too dark. And if we can't get something bright enough, I have here the Jeffree Star concealer in the color C7. This is a really, really bright, almost white. So not true white, but it is a little bit more of a cool tone white. And so this is a little bit more flattering. So we're gonna go in and see if we can mix that to get a little bit of a brighter shade. Or I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer, which is not a true white, but is a really bright cream. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see how that's a brighter flesh tone. So we're just gonna kind of mix a couple things that I have in my kit to see if we can't get something similar in color. I'm not trying to get something that's gonna be similar in wear test or similar most likely in finish necessarily, but I do wanna see if I can recreate that color, just to kind of, maybe if I didn't have it in my kit, or if somebody else asked me for it and I lost it and I was able to recreate that for my client. Another cool product that I'm going to be mixing is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. I have this in the color Latte, Creme Brulee, and Nude number 8. So I'm going to mix these with a couple of the eye primer or the Jeffree Star concealer to kind of see if we can get a color similar to this as well, because you can see that these are also in that same family. I have a MAC concealer palette here that I can also use these shades to help recreate that color. And then I have a professional lip palette that I made here with a couple of shades that maybe I could pull from to help me recreate that color. And then I also have a Smashbox lip palette. So I just brought a couple things out just to kind of see like what I might need to recreate that. This is the Smashbox lip palette. You can see that it has a lot of beautiful shades here, and I wanted to see if maybe I needed one of these to help me get close to that. So you can see it here. We're going to start by mixing these two colors together, and I'm going to start doing it on my palette. So I'm gonna angle the camera down so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right guys, so we're gonna try this angle. This is really, really cool. I didn't even know I could do this, but we're actually going to mix the color here and swatch it first, but I'm talking to you in the reflection. So you can actually see what I'm doing in real time. So we're gonna take these two colors. Like I said, this is the color Precious and the color Adorable. So we're gonna start by mixing these. I'm gonna go in with the brown first. And this is all trial and error, so it doesn't have to be perfect right away. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the pink. So we're gonna go both sides there. And I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing. Sorry if you guys don't like the sound of metal on metal. But this is one of the coolest ways to do it. So you can kind of see we're already really getting close to that family. And this is a liquid lipstick formula, so this is going to be more on the matte side, which is nice if you like something a little bit more long wearing. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this right next to it so you guys can see how close we're getting to it. So you can see, in my opinion, the Charlotte Tilbury has a little bit more on the peach undertone to it, and it has a little bit more warmth. So I'm gonna go in and add something to this and see if we can't get it a little bit closer to this. So what I'm gonna add is a little bit of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the color Nude 8, just a tiny bit. Less is more, you guys. You can always build or add. And then I'm gonna go in with just a tiny bit of the Jeffree Star Concealer in C7. So let's try mixing these bad boys together and see what happens. So the brown is going to give it a little bit more of that golden undertone, but then we want that brightness from the white or that lighter cream. So I don't know if you guys can see how it's kind of transforming before our eyes. It's coming a little bit lighter. So now I'm going to swatch it right next to it, see if you can see it. All right, so you can see we're all still similar in that family, but we need just a little bit more of that rose to give us a little bit more of that punch, right? So here we had a little bit too much rose. Here we don't have enough rose. So I'm gonna go in and just grab a little bit more of that Milani matte color and see if we can't get closer to that. This is really fun, you guys. I haven't done this in a long time. This is something that I usually do with my professional clients if I need something for them, but it's not something that I usually do like on camera. So it's kind of cool. So we're gonna go in on this side and see if we can't get more of that punch. There you go. So you can see that. So I still think that this is still closer to this. So we need to get closer to this, right? So I want to see how the golden undertone in this can be brought out a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with maybe a concealer color. So let me grab that and I'll be right back. So I'm back. What I'm noticing as it's setting a little bit more, this has a little bit more of a brown golden undertone. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer. This is from the matte concealer palette in the color NC45. So I'm actually going to go in and mix a little bit of that to see how that does. So I'm going to grab the palette, scoop it off. Come on, come on. Get it back in place. There we go. All right, so I'm going to see how that works. Because it's really missing a little bit of that golden hue with a little bit of that peach. So let's see if we can get closer. All right, so you see, now that's turning it a little bit too yellow, but it is a really pretty. So I'm gonna go in with this color right here called Jessica. You can see this right here, this one right here. This is a really nice warm undertone. So I'm gonna see if we can start there and see how we can get closer to this Miss Tilbury's. It's turning out to be much harder than I thought it would be. All right, so a little bit more of that like peachy undertone, so you can see that's Jessica right there. I'm gonna get a little bit more. Close that up. And then go ahead and slide it on there. So I'm gonna blend that out so you can kind of see what that looks like. It's already closer to this. It just needs a little bit more of that pink. So I'm gonna see if we can add a little bit more of the latte. And hopefully that won't change it too much. Okay, that's pretty close. Yay! Look at that, you guys. That is super duper close. This one is just a little bit more of a bolder, richer finish, but it's almost the exact same undertone. I'll put it next to it so you can see. You guys see that? Right there and right there. Cool. So now that I've figured that out, I'm going to swatch them side by side without all this mess on, and I'll be right back. So I have a fresh swatch of the Charlotte Tilbury. We're gonna go back in with that color in Jessica, and then we're gonna go in with the color Latte from Danessa Myricks. So we can recreate that color again for you so you can see. So here is the Jessica, and this is from the Smashbox Anniversary Palette, the 25th edition. Not sure if it's still for sale, but their color Jessica is one of their best sellers over the 25 years. And then this is in the color Latte, which is just a tiny amount of both of them. And then we're gonna mix those two together. Okay, so you can see very similar color, very similar undertone. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it side by side. So this one is, like I said, is a little bit more of a fuller, richer, bolder color because this has more pigment to it than this. This is a little bit more of a sheer formula, but they're very similar. All right, guys, so don't forget the color combo that worked for this was the Latte by Danessa Myricks mixed with a little bit of the Jessica from Smashbox. So I'm gonna show you a little bit on my hand what that looks like really quickly. I actually just swatched it with a brush, and it does look very similar when applied with a brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it really quickly. The brush doesn't pick up as much pigment as the applicator was, the stainless steel applicator. So you can see that that is applied with the brush, so it gives it more of that beautiful sheared off formula. And then I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick and swatch that on the back of my hand. And you can see that that actually has a lot more of that boldness to it now. Yeah. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury that has a lot more boldness to it, and this is the one that we recreated that has a little bit more of that golden undertone. So if you wanted to get it just closer to the Charlotte one, I would add just a little bit more of that creme brulee. No, a little bit more of that latte, and we'll see how we can get it there. Okay, guys, what do you think? After several trial and error, this one right here is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the creme brulee mixed with a little bit of that latte mixed with a little bit of that Jessica. And the more I add the lipstick and build up the color to where it was on the other side, the more exact it looks. There you go. So this is like one coat kind of sheared down with a little bit of that Jessica and the latte mixed together. And then I went and added a little bit more of the creme brulee to give it a little bit of that punch. So that's what it comes out to be. More time, a little bit of the latte, a little bit of the creme brulee, and then a little bit of that Jessica lipstick. So all three of those mixed together could make the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. So let me know if this helped you guys, if you learned anything, if this was fun. I really like this kind of videos. This is fun for me as an artist to kind of sit down and play with some product in a different way than I normally get to play with it. Usually we're just applying product and then we leave. We don't really get to play with colors and customize and create things all the time. So this is really nice to just recreate something that I see recreate something that I see on the internet that's really popular. So let me know down in the comments below if you guys are recreating this lipstick at home, if you found a color combination that works for you, Or if you're just like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna go out and buy the lipstick, $32, whatever, I don't care, or however much it is. So hope that helped you guys. Please subscribe to my channel. I hope that you love these videos. Next Makeup Artist Monday is gonna be really, really juicy, full of a lot of ingredients and a lot of how-tos. We're gonna be doing a technique that's a little bit more old school. So it'll be kind of old school with a modern twist. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and I'll see you guys next Monday. All right, thank you so much. Bye.